10. Silent ways. Your dog says thank you, and you're probably missing them. Alternative, your dog thanks you every day, but not how you think. There's a 68-year-old veteran in Montana, lost his wife 6 winters ago, doesn't talk much anymore, but every single night his dog Duke curls up by his feet. Same spot, same silence, same ritual. He never asked for thanks, but Duke gives it anyway. And your dog, they're doing the same thing. Right now, today, in ways so quiet you might be missing them completely. This video will change that forever. You think your dog only says thank you with a wagging tail? That's not even close. Dogs don't speak gratitude the way we do. They don't write cards. They don't say, I appreciate you over coffee. But they do say it every single day, in gestures so small, so subtle, that even lifelong dog lovers walk right past them. Some of these signs happen in the kitchen, some at your feet, some in the middle of the night when you're not even watching. But once you see them, you'll never look at your dog the same way again. You're sitting in your chair, maybe scrolling, maybe just staring at nothing. Coffee going cold, news murmuring in the background. Then, without a sound, your dog walks over and drops a toy at your feet. Not just any toy, that toy, the one he's had for years, the slobbery, half-chewed duck he guards like treasure, the one he won't let the other dogs touch, the one that's seen more seasons than most humans see friendships. You pick it up, toss it once, smile a little, and you think, he just wants to play. But what if I told you this has nothing to do with fetch? Dogs don't offer their treasures to just anyone. That toy isn't a request. It's a gift. It's his Excalibur, his most prized possession. And now it's at your feet. Canine behaviourists call this affiliative behavior. But I'll tell you what it really is. Gratitude in disguise. See, dogs don't say thank you with words. They say it with objects, with rituals, with gifts from their tiny, loyal world. And here's the part that'll get you. They usually do this after something you've completely forgotten. Maybe you filled the water bowl that morning. Maybe you spoke gently when they knocked something over. Maybe you just sat with them for 5 extra minutes. They remember. And this is how they repay you. But not all thanks come wrapped in squeaky toys. Some come right after dinner, when they've licked the bowl clean, wiped their face on the floor, and should be ready to nap. But instead they walk over to you. And what happens next is one of the quietest kisses you'll ever get. You ever notice what happens right after your dog eats? I mean right after. Not 5 minutes later. Not after a nap. I'm talking seconds after they finish licking every last bit of gravy like it owes them money. They come to you, slowly, calmly, and they give you a lick. Sometimes just a tap on your hand, sometimes right on your arm, almost like they're saying, yeah, that hit the spot. Most folks brush this off. He's just being clingy. She probably wants more food. But here's the truth, dogs don't fake moments like that. According to canine ethologists, this post-meal licking is rooted deep in puppyhood, back when pups would lick their mother's face after nursing. Not to beg, to bond, to thank. So when your grown dog does it now, it's not random, it's instinct meeting emotion, a quiet ritual of appreciation that slips right under most people's radar. And here's the kicker. If you miss this moment, you're missing one of the deepest signs of trust your dog can offer. Because after food, after survival, comes connection. But that's just the start, because dogs don't just say thanks with licks or toys. Sometimes they don't do anything flashy at all. They simply stay close, right beside you, in every room, without a sound. And when they do that, it's not coincidence, it's a message. Most people never learn to read these signs. They love their dog, but they miss the quiet language happening right in front of them. If you don't want to be one of them, subscribe now. Because what comes next might be the most important thing your dog does every single day, and you've probably been walking right past it. You walk from the kitchen to the garage. He's there. You head to the bathroom. Yep, still there. You shift in your chair, and suddenly he's watching, waiting, not even blinking. He doesn't bark, doesn't whine. He just follows. Some folks think it's because of food, habit, boredom. But here's what most people don't realize. Dogs are experts in emotional gravity. They orbit who matters. And if your dog follows you around the house, not demanding, not restless, just quietly trailing behind, that's not clingy behavior. That's reverence. That's loyalty with legs. Researchers in canine cognition have a name for this: proximity seeking. It means your dog feels safest, not just with you, but because of you. He's not waiting for something to happen. He's telling you, whatever happens, I want to be where you are. It's a thank you without sound. No way. No lick. Just presence. And sometimes presence says more than words ever could. But sometimes that presence changes shape. It shifts from I'm near you to I've got your back. Especially at night, when the world goes quiet and your dog curls up in a very specific way. If you've ever seen it, you might have missed what it truly means. But once you know, you'll never forget it. He could have crashed on the couch. He could have rolled onto his back like a lazy lion and snored the night away. But he didn't. Instead, he curls. Not tight, not stretched. Just enough to stay alert. And always, always facing the door. You've seen it, haven't you? That quiet pose, ears not fully relaxed, eyes half shut, but always ready. It looks like rest, but it's not just sleep. It's watch duty. You protected him all day. You fed him, brushed out that stubborn mat on his shoulder, maybe even whispered something silly into his ear when no one was around. And now, he's returning the favor. He's not just lying there. He's stationed. That's not a nap. That's a vigil. In the canine world, sleep is sacred. Where they choose to shut their eyes says everything. And when they nap like that, half ready, positioned between you and the world, it means one thing: you matter enough to God. It's instinct, yes, but it's also memory. He remembers every storm you comforted him through, every pain you didn't let him face alone. And now he's giving you the same. But there's something even quieter than the guardian nap. Something in the eyes. You won't hear it. You might not even notice it unless you know what to look for. And once you do, next time your dog looks at you that way, you'll look back a little longer. You're sitting there, quiet, maybe thinking about something that doesn't need words. And then you catch it. Your dog, watching you, not with wild eyes or a begging face, just calm, steady, almost soft. And then he blinks, slow, deliberate, not out of sleepiness, not because of dust, like he's trying to say something without making a sound. This isn't random, and it's not your dog zoning out. Behaviourists have studied this exact moment. Dogs, much like cats, have a version of what's called the trust gaze. It's a way of saying, I'm safe here. You're my person. That slow blink, that's the thank you don't hear, but you feel. It's his way of telling you, I don't need anything right now. I just like being around you. And if you blink back, just gently, you're speaking his language. You're saying, I see you. I'm here too. It's one of the quietest forms of connection. No wag, no bark, no jumping, just stillness, intimacy. And once you've felt that blink, you'll start noticing the other small gestures too, like how he nudges your hand after a scratch, or leans his whole weight into you without a sound. One blink says, I trust you. But what comes next? That gentle nudge. That's him saying, do it again. Not because he needs it, but because he liked what you gave. If you're watching this and realizing you've been missing these moments, don't feel bad. Most people do, but now you know, and that changes everything. Subscribe so you never miss another sign. Because your dog's been speaking to you all along, and it's time to learn their language. You finish brushing behind his ears. Maybe it's after a long walk, maybe just a quiet evening on the porch. You stop, stretch your fingers. Maybe you think, okay, done. But then there it is, a soft bump, just his nose against your arm, not pushy, not demanding, just a nudge. It's not an accident, it's a message. See, dogs aren't loud about affection, especially the old souls, the ones who've been through winters and waiting with you. When they nudge you like that, they're not begging, they're responding. You gave them comfort, connection, and they're saying, that meant something. It's like a friend patting your shoulder after a long story, or a kid gently tugging your sleeve after a hug just to say, more of that, please. That nudge, that's a form of thanks. Not flashy, not noisy, but deeply felt. And it usually comes at moments when things feel quiet, when no one else is around. It's in those pauses, those soft spots between words, where dogs speak clearest. But if a nudge is subtle, the next sign might just anchor you in place. Because sometimes they don't move at all. They just sit and lean. And when a dog leans into you, that's not just affection, that's surrender. It happens quietly, no cue, no noise. You're sitting, maybe reading, maybe just thinking. And your dog walks over, doesn't bark, doesn't whine, just gently leans into your side. Not a full flop, just enough weight to let you know, I'm here, and I'm staying. This isn't about tired legs. It's not about getting closer to your sandwich. It's about grounding. In the wild, dogs lean into each other for warmth, for trust, for protection. And when they lean into you, they're saying, I trust you more than the floor. Think about that. This creature who sees and senses every flicker in your body, every sigh, every shift, has chosen you as a wall to rest on. Not because you're solid, because you're familiar, safe. Sometimes this lean comes after something hard. A trip to the vet, a thunderstorm, or one of those long days when you don't say much, but he knows something's off. And then, lean. No words, just wait. Connection. But not all dogs lean slow and steady. Some say thank you in the loudest way possible. They burst. They spin. They launch across the living room like four-legged fireworks. And when that happens, you're not just watching joy. You're watching celebration. A celebration of you. You open the door. He bolts, not away, around, circles, twists. That wild gallop across the living room like he's been plugged into a wall socket. Rugs flying, tail a blur, eyes lit up like he just won the lottery. You know the drill. It's chaos. It's comedy. It's also gratitude. See, what looks like random madness, what folks online call zoomies, isn't just your dog burning energy. It's emotion. Big, bottled up, can't hold it in joy. And dogs don't do that for everyone. They don't explode like that unless they feel completely free, safe, loved. That zoomy storm, that's a dance for you. It usually happens right after something they loved, a walk they didn't expect, a treat you hadn't given in weeks, a moment where you sat a little longer and let them just be, and their body says what words can't. I noticed, and I loved it, and this is how I show you. It's their version of clapping, of shouting from rooftops. But after the storm comes calm again, and sometimes, after all that movement, they do something even more surprising. They go to your shirt, your boots, that spot on the couch where you always sit. And what they do next might be the clearest sign they carry a part of you everywhere they go. If any of this is hitting home, if you're nodding along thinking, my dog does that, then you're in the right place. But here's the thing. If you don't subscribe, you might miss the next video that explains the one behavior you've been wondering about for years. Don't let that happen. Click subscribe. And if you won't, at least tell me why in the comments and tell me where you're watching from. Let's see how far this pack reaches. You walk into the room and he's curled up, right on your old flannel shirt, or your work boots, or that ragged part of the couch cushion where you always sit. He had a choice. He could have picked the fluffy dog bed in the corner. He didn't. Dogs live by scent. It's their first language. And your scent? That's home. That's comfort. That's safety wrapped in cotton, leather, and the sweat of 100 ordinary days. This isn't just about missing you. It's about carrying you, keeping you close even when you're not in the room. That nest he builds from your hoodie or sock. It's not random. It's sacred. It's a signal. He's saying, this smells like my person. I want to rest where that feeling is strongest. And when he does this after you've done something kind, fed him, scratched his back just right, waited patiently while he sniffed every tree on the block. That's his version of savoring the moment. Some dogs bark, some spin, but some, they just curl into your scent and breathe slower. And as still as it seems, that quiet moment is filled with meaning. But sometimes it's not about scent. It's not even about closeness. Sometimes it's about timing. Because your dog doesn't just know where you are. Sometimes he knows how you feel before you do. You don't say a word. No sigh. No tears. You're just sitting there, staring at nothing, lost in a thought you don't want to explain. And yet, here he comes. No bark, no whimper, just a quiet approach, and a paw resting gently on your knee. Maybe a lean, maybe just his head against your arm. He knew. You didn't call, you didn't cry, but he felt it. That's the part science still can't fully explain. Dogs have a way of sensing what we bury. Long before a human asks, "Are you okay?" Your dog already answered. Veterans say it. Widowers know it. I didn't even realize how bad I felt until he sat beside me like that. They pick up on your breathing, your stillness, your tension, and when your world starts to shake, even just a little, he steadies it, not by fixing anything, just by being there before you even know you need him. That's not instinct. That's love sharpened by time. And here's what most people miss. He doesn't just do this once. He does it every time. Because in his eyes, you're not just his person. You're the center of his world. So maybe your dog's never said the words. Maybe he's never written a card, never brought flowers, but he's been saying thank you every single day. With a toy at your feet, with a nudge when you didn't know you needed it, with a soft blink in the quiet, with a lean that says, I've got you. and with a stillness that wraps around you like a memory you didn't know you'd miss. He doesn't just love you. He watches you, learns you, mirrors you, and somehow he knows exactly when to show up. If you've ever felt that, even just once, you already know what I'm about to say. You didn't just rescue him. He's been rescuing you too. If this video reminded you of your own four-legged shadow, if you whispered, "That's exactly what mine does," then you're home. This channel was made for people like you. People who know that behind every tail wag, there's a whole heart speaking without words. Subscribe. Not for me, but so next time your dog says thank you, you'll know how to say I see you too. We've got more stories waiting. But for now, go find your dog, sit with them, look at them, really look, because while you've been watching this video, they've been waiting. Not for food, not for a walk, just for you. And that, right there, is the truest thank you of all. If this changed how you see your dog, even a little, do one thing. Share it. Send it to someone who needs to hear this. Because every dog deserves to be understood, and every owner deserves to know just how much they're loved in return. Thank you for being here. Your dog is lucky to have you, and we're lucky to have you in this pack.